Welcome to Fabricville. Today we're sewing a laptop sleeve. Practical, stylish, and nicely padded. It's an easy project perfect for using up quilted fabric scraps or matching with your other accessories. Get comfy, set up your sewing machine, and let's get started. For the outer fabric, I'm using quilted cotton. If you're not sure how to quilt your fabric, check out our previous tutorial. But you can totally use any outer fabric you like. I need a lining, 2 foam rectangles at least 5 mm thick, and a metal zipper about 6 cm longer than the length of the rectangle. For the pattern, I start by tracing a rectangle with rounded corners the size of my laptop. That will be the foam shape. For the lining, I cut the same shape with a 1.5 cm seam allowance. For the side panel, I cut a strip matching the depth I want for the sleeve. Here, 3 cm, with a total length equal to width plus 1 length of the rectangle. I also cut a strip in the outer fabric and again in the lining, adding seam allowances. I place each piece of foam against the quilted fabric. To center them properly, I mark the midpoint on each side and line up the marks. Then I use a bit of adhesive spray to hold everything in place before sewing. For the quilting, there are many ways to do it. Here I'm stitching about 1 cm from each seam line. Next, I draw a 1.5 cm seam allowance all around the foam. I temporarily pin the zipper along the top edge. To follow the curves, I make a few little snips in the zipper tape, without cutting the teeth, of course. I take the side strip and trim it to go all the way around from one end of the zipper to the other. I sandwich the zipper between the 2 strips of fabric and sew through all 3 layers. I do the same on the other side of the zipper. Then I flip the linings open, slide the foam strip inside between them, pin, and quilt the strip by drawing parallel lines. The side panel is ready. I pin it right sides together to the main quilted rectangle and stitch. Then I place the other quilted panel right sides together with the strip and stitch again. Now that the outer shell is assembled, I lay it flat on the table, wrong side up. I take the lining rectangle, mark the midpoints, and place it on top, pinning along the edges of the panel that's against the table. Important, we sew the lining onto the underneath panel, the one that will end up on the outside once the sleeve is turned. I sew all around, leaving about 15 cm opening to turn it later. I turn it right side out, then attach the second lining rectangle the same way. All that's left is to close the openings, by hand or machine. And that's it. Our laptop sleeve is finished. Beautiful, practical, and ready to follow you everywhere. I hope you enjoyed this project. Thanks for sewing with us, and see you very soon for another tutorial.